Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay Hoffman and welcome to the Dose of Bliss show. Today I have my really good friend Laura Barrett with me. She is an influencer, self-proclaimed blogger without a blog, and she is the operations manager of Devisa, which is a marketing PR firm for brands.
It's a digital marketing agency, yeah.
So Laura and I have known each other for forever, so I'm so excited you guys get to meet her. We went to college together. We now live in LA together. And I thought you'd be perfect on the show to talk about networking, because as we'll get into it, Laura is like the queen of like making things happen. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
So what I wanted to start about is Laura's completely self-made. I mean, she has her own business. She also works for this firm, and she's at every event every day. I don't know. I can't even keep up with her. So can you start out with like your tips of let's start with why networking is so important and how that has helped you?
I mean, initially, like when we were in college, I didn't really think of it as networking. I was like, I just want to know everyone and find like my friends and see like what I like and what, like take different classes and see, because I went into freshman year completely undeclared. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I just joined a bunch of different clubs and I started talking to different people, and that kind of just carried over into every step of my life. Like I'm almost 30 now, and I still know some of those people from like art club at Arizona State that our lives didn't necessarily intersect, but I've like hit them up for graphic design projects through work like 10 years later, and it's really cool to see how that's all played out.
That's a really good way actually to look at it. Like thinking, people are like, oh, networking. If you think of it more as like, I want to make friends versus I want this out of somebody, that makes the difference.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is being genuine. Like when you go up to somebody at an event, you don't necessarily want to come up acting like a fan. Not that being a fan of someone is a bad thing, but it's so much better to approach someone and say, like, hi, I love your work. I do this, and I would love to see if we could collaborate at some point in time. That way it just becomes this, like, not just mutually beneficial, but you also have this mutual respect, and you kind of place yourself at their level instead of coming off underneath them, which sounds so strange.
Yeah.
But there is like a little bit of a power dynamic in business. So whenever you meet a new person, you want to be like on a level playing field.
So what would your 3 tips be for networking? So one would be, come to them on an even level playing field, whether that be telling them something you admire about them. What else would there be?
Talk to everyone. Like talk to anyone. And like Whole Foods, the airport, I've genuinely met at least like 6 like very close friends in airports who have all turned out to be doing like amazing things now. There was a girl in Sweden, her name's Carrie, and we were at the Stockholm airport, and I didn't have the correct phone connector for Europe. I only had a British one and an American one. So I asked if I could borrow her phone charger, and it turned out that she was like this amazing makeup artist in the UK who does like stuff for British Vogue. And I'm like going to her wedding in February.
Because you asked for a charger.
Because I asked for a phone charger like 6 years ago. So it's like you never know who you're going to meet. So it's kind of like just always be prepared for like that person to come into your life and be open to that experience. I feel like in Los Angeles especially, like people don't talk to each other.
Yeah, they're always like, wait. Like they're not like, hi, nice to meet you. They're like, hi, what do you do?
Yeah, but not even that.
If
just
they
like,
say hi.
Like if you're like walking on the street or like going to the store or like anything, like people don't connect as much anymore because everything's so digital. And sometimes it's nice to just like look someone in the eye and be like, hi, like I hope you're having a nice day. Like what's your story, what's your passion? And those moments really are what forge relationships. And then I think my 3rd one would probably be again, to just be genuine. Like don't overinflate who you are, what you do to impress someone. I think that can be a little transparent sometimes. So, just be honest. Be like if you just moved here and you're an aspiring actress and you've never worked on anything, just say that. Be like, I'm here and I'm excited and I want to get into classes and I want to learn from people like you. And I think people respect that a lot more than being like, oh, I've been in 9 movies.
Yeah.
When that's
like,
just
nice to meet you. You've been in 9 movies. Okay, what else?
Yeah, so don't pretend to be someone that you're not. I think that we're at a place in 2018 where people really appreciate honesty.
Yeah, and you know, it's actually kind of how we met. So me and Laura went to college together, but we don't really remember how we met. We don't know. Maybe it was at a party. I have no idea. We were Facebook friends.
Is that bad to admit?
But we were Facebook friends, so we knew like of each other. But we hadn't hung out till LA when she saw me at a club, and just literally, I saw her from afar. You know, you see people and you're like, do I know that person? I feel like I know that person.
Oh, it happens all the time.
And then, but Laura, she came up to me and was like, hey, like, you're Lindsay, right? Like, we should hang out, blah, blah. Like, you did that. You approached me.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt really cool. And that's always stuck with me because you do such a good job of, like, meeting a new person, just coming up to the club and making it so effortlessly, where I felt cool to be like noticed by someone who wanted to be my friend.
I'm glad that you felt cool. I was just like new to Los Angeles and was like, I
was there too. That's what I was. But I saw you, but I was shy to come up, even though I love meeting people. So that kind of goes on to my next question is, what are your tips for how to say hi to a person and how to, you know, maintain that relationship after you see them somewhere?
I think it depends on the situation. Like with you, like we kind of already knew of each other. So I kind of came up to you in a much more like forceful manner where I was just like, hi, hello, like let's be friends. But if you don't know this person and let's say it's somebody whose work you admire, not just like a celebrity or somebody, but like let's say it's like the COO of a company that you really want to work for. Again, it goes back to just kind of going up to that person, being genuine, putting yourself on a level playing field, but still not being like showboaty. So, you know, you just go up to someone and be like, hi, my name is so-and-so. Are you insert name? And I really love your work and I'd love to discuss like working with you at some point. Or if you're at a more laid back party, it can be as simple as like going up to them and be like, hi, what are you drinking? Like, do you recommend anything? Just finding a way to connect, like a real way to connect.
And then how do you maintain that? Because a lot of people, okay, you meet someone at a party, but people don't always get the phone number at the end or an email. And then even if they do, a lot of people don't follow up.
I'm still a big fan of like having physical business cards because then you can make that move and hand it to somebody and be like, hi. And then if they have theirs on them, they will give it to you. And if they don't, they will feel awkward enough to give you their contact information because they don't want to be rude.
And then you have to put it into your phone right then and there.
Or at least get like their Instagram or like whatever so you have that connection. And it's about following up. I feel like a lot of people don't follow up. I was just at a conference for people who work in the luxury fashion marketing industry back in September. And I got like 25 business cards of people that I had very brief encounters with. And I followed up with every single one of them. And they were all pretty surprised that I actually like did that, which is so interesting because I feel like that's kind of common sense, but we all get so busy, you know, sometimes it just doesn't happen. So anytime I go to something like that and I do get like multiple business cards, first of all, I always write where I met them or how I met them on the card, like immediately after, so that I have like something to spark, like, who is this person? But then immediately after getting home from like the conference or the festival or whatever, because I go to a lot of like film festivals and music festivals too, like that Monday following it, I sit at my computer and I just fire off like a million nice to meet you emails.
That's so true. And I feel like people don't realize, I really like how you said people are surprised when you contact them. Because you think so many people are reaching out to people, but they're really not. A lot of people will ask me too, how do you get these opportunities? And like, for example, in college, we would have speakers come to school. And one of the speakers was a producer for Discovery Channel. And I just emailed them every month and I would come out and visit. And years later, I still keep in touch to this day. He told me out of every student, for the whole time he's ever spoke, I mean, this has been like maybe 6 years now since we've been out of college, he still goes and speaks at school. And out of every student, I was pretty much the only person who followed up out of like thousands of students.
And it's even, so I used to act, now that's kind of shifted more into like doing stuff like this and like fashion panels and things like that. But when I was like actively going on auditions, that was another thing that my acting coach told me. He was like, send a physical thank you card in the mail after every audition, like to the casting studio, to say like, thank you so much, like, for the opportunity. It was great to meet you. Because that way, even if you didn't book the job, they would remember that you were like polite and courteous, and they might consider you for something that might be a better fit or better role. It's the same concept of going on like a job interview. Like, I interview people all the time, and I guarantee you the person who emails me a thank you after the interview is going to get hired over the person who didn't.
who took the time. It makes the biggest difference. So what has been like the craziest or best opportunity that you've gotten, because of you talking to someone random or networking in the ways that you've described?
So I went to the Cannes Film Festival. I had a short film that went to the Cannes Film Festival about 2 years ago. And I don't know if you've ever been, but the short film sector is separate. It's not like a part of the big, crazy red carpet film festival. So we didn't really have tickets to any of those screenings. We were like, we're in Cannes. We really want to go. Like, how do we go to this? And we ended up meeting these film buyers who had extra tickets. And just from like talking to them and like having some drinks with them and like getting to know each other, they ended up giving us like them to us.
That's so crazy. And
we ended up doing like the Cannes, like the big like Cannes red carpet, and we have these like beautiful photos. And they were like, yeah, we don't need to go. We've been doing this for 30 years. Like, you guys take these tickets and have a blast. And we were like, you guys are so nice and cool.
How do you normally get invited to the Cannes? Because some people watching might not be familiar with what it is. It's obviously a film festival in France, but to get a ticket to the main one, I mean, does it cost money, or what do you need to do to be invited?
I think there are multiple avenues. It is invite only, but like you said, you can be like a film buyer, like somebody who works for like Lionsgate, who's purchasing films for whatever, or you can be an actor or celebrity, and different people are invited to different screenings.
Yeah,
so
you were invited
like
to
you can be invited to one premiere and not the entire festival. We actually had like short film passes, and we could go to some of the festival, but just not like the big crazy red carpet screenings. Yeah. So there's just different levels of access, but it is all invite only.
Yeah, and so that's to put in perspective. Just by talking to someone and being nice, you can literally get free tickets to an invite-only thing in France where everybody is an A-lister on the carpet. I mean, if you go through Laura's Instagram, you'll find this picture. Like, this is not a thing that you can just get into. But just by talking to someone, like, the opportunities are like endless.
Yeah, we were really thrilled. They did us a solid because we were like, we're here, we really want to go.
So like, the one thing I know about Laura, she's persistent and she actually tries. Like, can you explain to people like how much you actually try to like remind people and get to places? Like, it's not just like, hi, I met you. You have to follow up. You have to send emails. You have to.
Oh yeah, as far as like events go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I follow up after every event and say thank you for having me. Sometimes you won't be invited to something and somebody will pass you a flyer. And it's a matter of sending a very courteous email saying, hi, like, I would love to attend this event if there's any room for me, sending your media kit so that they know who you are. Everyone in Los Angeles is an influencer in some capacity. So it's like, you send your media kit with your stats and a little bio, stuff about you, and just ask politely. I mean, the worst that they can say is no, and then you don't go.
Yeah, but then you have a new contact, and you could be like, hey, let's go get lunch and make them your friends, so then eventually you are invited over.
That's a great way to do it. If you're in the position to do so, taking people to lunch is always such a nice gesture. So,
and so what would you say is like the percent of people who do say yes out of all the times you do? Is it like a high percent rate for at least trying?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you voice it in the right way and you're articulate and kind and you're just asking the question and you're not like being forceful, and then, I see it's probably like 8 out of 10. Yeah,
see, that's like something I want people to know. It's like the key to networking is literally, or going to an event or whatever it is, your goal is just trying. Like, Laura's success rate is 80% just because she tries. Like, you might not even know anybody. You might not, have a relationship. But if you just literally send an email or go up to a person.
Yeah. Like, it's always easier when you have like a friend of a friend who knows that person and that they can like segue it that way and do like an intro, like, hi, I would like to introduce you to my friend Laura. She would love to attend this thing, but that doesn't always happen. So cold emailing does work on occasion.
You build up, over time. Me and Laura came out to LA when we were, fresh off the boat. And we didn't know anybody here. And I mean, me and Laura have had some pretty crazy experiences going to crazy celebrity parties.
Yeah, well, you were working for that magazine.
Yeah, I was working for a
while.
magazine, but I mean that's why I learned from Laura, honestly. I mean, you also have to just talk to random people, you know, like one time we ended up at Drake's house because I was just talking to someone who happened to be a bodyguard of a rapper. And they just were like, want to come to Drake's house. And you just don't know who you're talking to. It's just after you talk for 2 minutes.
That was fun.
And you just go. And, you know, of course, Laura was always my plus one because she's great at making friends. So when I want to make friends, you bring Laura.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I'm very outgoing. I'll talk to anyone.
Yeah, so this will be my last question, but what is like the biggest thing you want people to know, you know, about networking and just, you know, finding success however they define it?
I mean, I think it's just important to put yourself out there. Like, there are going to be people that reject you and tell you, you know, you don't have enough followers to come to this party. And like, that's happened to me. It happens to everyone. And it's just important to keep your feet on the ground and remember that, like, some people are going to say no, but you're only one no away from like that next yes. You know what I mean? Like, you're not everyone's cup of tea. You're not, like, not everyone is going to believe in you the way that you believe in yourself, and you just have to keep pushing.
Yeah, you have to keep going, and then success favors the people who are persistent.
Yeah. If you keep trying, the chances are that you will succeed eventually.
At the same time. It's so true. Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming here. Can you let our viewers know where they can find you?
You can find me at Instagram.com/TheLauraBarrett. And my Facebook fan page is at The Laura Barrett as well. I have Twitter, but I don't really use it, but that's also The Laura Barrett.
Yeah,
so
go check her out for more tips, and watching, you'll literally see all the amazing things she does by networking, so she's the proof. And I'm so glad we can have you here to share secrets with everyone. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dose of Bliss. You can subscribe to it wherever you are watching it right now. Be sure to binge watch it all on Focus TV, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.